what if I told you that your business could handle customer emails automatically with responses that sound human, are always accurate, and get verified before sending? Today, I'm gonna show you a custom AI automation email system that I built using N8N that is already saving businesses hours of customer support a day. So the problem is that most businesses face the same common issues. Support teams drowning in repetitive emails, inconsistent response quality among team members, hours spent searching through documentation necessary to respond to these users' questions, and delayed response times to these customers. So here's what my AI email assistant does. It automatically reads and understands incoming emails. It creates human-like responses utilizing DeepSeek R1. It references your company's entire knowledge base instantly using quadrants. It gets verified by a team member before sending, and it learns and improves from feedback. All of those 5 are included in this one agent. If you want to see how this can work for your business, book a free consultation with the link in the description below. I'll now show you exactly how the system can be used for your specific needs. So we start off by an email trigger from IMAP, and this basically logs in with your custom email address and is tied to your inbox. And we're using IMAP because it is faster than the technical Gmail connection. And once we have that, it is going to mark the email as read and convert it to Markdown. And Markdown is just an easier way for the email summarization chain to essentially read and process the information within the email. And we're using DeepSeek V3 to summarize the email. And once we do that, we are going to write the email using a custom prompt. You're an expert at answering emails. You need to answer these professionally based on the information you have. This is a business email. Be concise and never exceed 100 words. Only the body of the email, not the subject. So once we reply to that email and we have a draft, correct? Once we create that email and have the draft, we are also using DeepSeek R1 to formulate this draft. We will edit the fields manually. So we are going to manually map the previous node and place this within a Gmail draft. So once you have the custom mapping completed, it's going to send it to Gmail and wait for a response. It's going to send a email trigger back to the original email that I'm sending it from. So in this case, I'm responding to any outside emails with this personal email. It's going to send a different email to the secondary email that I have attached to this Gmail node. And it's basically going to prompt me to accept the message or decline it. And that's where the text classifier comes in, because if it's approved, it's going to essentially send the email, but if it's not, it's going to adjust the email based on the edits that you input and feed it back into the email reviewer, which uses DeepSeek R1 as well. And basically once that's completed, it's going to go all the way back to the fields node and then place it within the draft email again. And both of these tools, Write Email and Email Reviewer, both use the Quadrant Vector Store, which is up here, which is basically the vector storage database that is storing all the company information. So when I talk about company information, I'm going to explain this top workflow a little bit more. So once we refresh the collection, which is the Quadrant database, we are going to get the folder from Google Drive that we are supposed to access with all the company information. Once we get that, we're going to download all the files. And once the files are downloaded, they're going to be parsed within the Quadrant Vector Store using a default data loader, OpenAI embeddings, and a token splitter. So this is the name of the Quadrant database right now. And as you can see here, there's no stars present. So yeah, that's the basis of the Email AI Assistant Agent. This workflow is perfect for customer support teams, sales teams, HR departments, technical support, or anyone handling high email volume. You could be yourself. And remember, this isn't just about automation. This is about giving your team the power to focus on what matters, ensuring every customer gets the attention they deserve. And now this is the demo. So to start off this workflow, we're gonna start with this email trigger. And this is linked to my personal email address, ksukuria@syntrxai.com. So we're gonna click test workflow, right? And now we're gonna draft an email to essentially send to that email address from my secondary email address. So we're gonna name this test. We're gonna ask it a question. What is the Loom script in the document Syntrx AI script? Since we have these two documents, which is tied to the Google Drive, which is essentially parsed to this database, we're gonna request the AI agent to access this information through email. So with this email here, we're gonna click send. And basically once that sends to this email address here, it's gonna populate and continue to the next node. And while that's waiting, I'm gonna explain the top workflow really quick. So when clicking on test workflow or when executing it in general, it's going to refresh the Quadrant database as we have added here. It's going to get the folder that we have here, the scripts folder. Once it gets that folder, it's going to download all the files within that folder. Once downloaded, it's going to store it within the vector database and basically use OpenAI embeddings, the default data loader, and a token splitter to split up the information and store it successfully within the vector database. So let's go back down here. As you can see, it converted the body of that email to Markdown, summarized the email, wrote the email draft, and now it's pending within my email inbox. So let's go check. There we go. We can see that it did summarize the Loom script for us. It did craft a response for us, and we can either approve or decline this response. So for now, we're going to approve it. So click approve. And once we click submit and go back to this workflow, it's going to send the email to my personal inbox. So let's go check that right now. And as you can see here, if there was another email address in this workflow, this is what would be sent to it. The Loom script is a specialized programming language for automating and optimizing workflows within the Centrix platform. And basically, this is the AI generated response from that workflow. And yeah, that's the basic demo of this experience.